Howdy, folks. This is Man 0073 here, cruising land, pulling the rubber, and pulling in the car park with a handbrake. And as you may notice here at the bottom of the video, just shaking a little bit with my leg, I got one of my cats on my lap. Gets a little annoying when she moves, but anyway, so I'm going to be bringing you a brief video today on, as a partial response and a bit of a discussion. The response part is to, the Chapter 670 review that King of Lightning did, and a particular part of it, in which he called the reveal of Toshiro Hitsugaya's true form of Daigaren Hyorimaru, his Bankai, a fairy tale level ass pull. Now, myself and AOD have done a video a short time ago detailing our opinions on ass pulls. Now, I'll delve into my personal opinion of what could be classed as an ass pull, or of, stuff of flukish nature that I've seen. I haven't seen much of Fairy Tail, so I can't really comment on the Fairy Tail aspect, but I can comment on ass pulls. Now, I'm gonna debunk King of Lightning and say that was definitively not an ass pull at all, because we all knew that the Daigaren Hyorimaru's true form was coming. It was just a matter of time. Now, what the true form was going to look like was another thing, but it wasn't just a matter of time until it was revealed. Now, with it being revealed, I think King might be going a little bit more towards probably towards the form and the abilities. But I think he was a little unfounded because we hadn't seen. See, that was one chapter. We needed the next chapter to see the Shikai Kyoketsu ability, as well as what happened to Jirard when he froze. Toshiro froze Jirard when Jirard had him clenched in his hand. So yeah, so really not a fairy tale last one because we knew it was coming. And the other thing that I'm going to debunk King of Lightning on in that same video was that he said the Kubo and Toshiro had cemented the concept of the flowers of Daigaren Hyorimaru. Now, he states that the concept was cemented that when all 12 petals disappear, the Bankai disappears. Now, I stated all parts of this in an earlier video with AOD. Now, Toshiro himself actually never states that the flowers have anything to do with the disappearance of his Bankai. That was only a monologuing theory by Xiaolong Kufang, his opponent at the time that this alleged event happened. Of which we actually know the event occurred, that he was nearly out of his Bankai anyway, because he only had 1 and a bit petals left. But Toshiro's response to Xiaolong's theory that the petals were a timer was all of the words to the following effect. So what if they are? Or as I say, words to that effect. So it's not a confirmation nor a denial of what the petals were there for. Only when the time came to reveal his Bankai, or the true form I should say, when Byakuya said he should release it, like release his Bankai so he doesn't exhaust himself, Toshiro stated that the petals were not a timer, but in fact, when the last petal disappears, is when Daigaren Hyorimaru finally becomes mature. Now, as I say, the concept of a timer to the disappearance of his Bankai was never confirmed nor denied by Toshiro. So yeah, that kind of debunks King on both grounds of the concept and the ass pull. Because we all knew the true form was coming because Toshiro had been training with Hyorimaru. Now whether the true form came now because Hyorimaru didn't think he was ready for the power, or his body wasn't ready, well, that's still a little bit open for debate, but I'd say both grounds. His body wasn't ready, and Hyorimaru didn't think he was ready. So that's where I stand with that. Now, for the ass pull, I generally classify an asshole as something where a character has like a high-level god sort of power. I can't really think of a decent example, but right off the top of my head, so actually, I suppose I could. Now, some people may say this is not an asshole, but the very first episode of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters anime, The Heart of the Cards, if I remember correctly, is what it's called. Now, in that episode, Seto Kaiba, who has established as one of the main antagonists of the series, and a possible antagonist of Yu-Gi-Oh! Arc V, or Arc 5, if you like. Possible but unknown. I haven't viewed any theories on it just yet, so I'll just say I'm a fence sitter on that argument, but he's basically one of the main antagonists of the original series. Now, the first episode, he summons 3 Blue Eyes White Dragons, and Yugi basically ass pulls Exodia, the Forbidden One, to win. It's almost as if the deck was rigged to give him the 5 pieces. Because Kaiba even states it's impossible. No one's ever been able to call him, or words similar to that. Now, that statement alone from Kaiba suggests that it was an ass pull on Yugi's part. Now, we know that the anime is sort of biased towards Yugi winning, but I haven't read the manga, so the manga might have a little more even play between the duelists, but the anime seemed to me biased to Yugi, so. But in that instance, I'm gonna say that's an ass pull for Yugi to summon Exodia in the first episode of the anime. And probably the first chapter of the manga as well, no doubt. Now, I suppose I'm thinking another ass pull. But an ass pull I can define as someone who has a very high tier power being defeated by someone who has a very shitty ability. Now I'm aware of a few examples in Fairy Tail, but I'm not going to quote them because I'll probably get them wrong. So, yeah, I just gotta think of another one I can use. Actually, you could actually call the Hollow Ichigo versus Ulquiorra fight an ass pull because actually there is a couple of examples of Bleach where Ichigo pulls it out, virtually pull the victory out of his ass, but that's probably a biggie because truly the fight wasn't Ichigo. It was all that section fight was all Hollow Ichigo. Now it's still technically Ichigo because he's True Zanpakuto's taken over, but as a Hollow, not the actual Shinigami power. So technically an ass pull, but also technically not. It's how you view that one. Now another ass pull from that series. Uryu versus Mayuri in the Soul Society. That's probably another good one. Why, you might ask? Think about it. Uryu was getting owned to the shit. He was beat up. He was beat up. He was paralyzed. But Mayuri was shitting all over him without even trying. Then Yoryu goes and pulls out Ranso Tengai, which is generally a technique used by elderly Quincy's. Then he pulls a Quincy Less Still, or Quincy Final Form. Then proceeds to fuck Mayuri over in basically one arrow. Talk about an ass pull. A minor fact, he that's an arrow straight through Mayuri's Bankai, Konjiki Ashisoge Jizo. But the rebound to that is the fact that Quincy Final Form released too much power for Uri's body to handle, so therefore he lost his Quincy powers anyway. But the actual battle itself is the ass pull I'm getting at. So, yeah. It's the battle itself I'm getting at there. So, without thinking a bit more for some of the other ass pulls, there's probably been a few in the Dragon Ball anime, and well, Dragon Ball Z, and GT, and now Super. But one of the biggest ass pulls is the Spirit Bomb. Pull it out and it's basically an assured victory. Fucking assholes, I say. Why? Because it shouldn't be an endgame move. Look, I understand the point of it being an endgame because of the time it takes to charge it, but I'm talking endgame because it defeats pretty much every enemy that it's being used against. Which I don't think was many for me. The one I can actually do remember killing was Kid Buu. But that was an ass pull on a couple of accounts. The fact that it was pulled out and defeated Kid Buu, but also the fact that Dende used the Namekian dragon, Porunga, to restore Goku's Super Saiyan powers by restoring his Goku's power anyway. And therefore, basically Goku pulling Super Saiyan out of his ass to kill Kid Buu, and Kid Buu was stronger than a Super Saiyan. Goku was barely keeping up with Kid Buu in Super Saiyan 3. Matter of fact, he couldn't use that form for an extended period of time, but that's why one of the best is that sequence of events that leads to him defeating Kid Buu in Super Saiyan. That's why the ass pull of Dragon Ball Z that I can remember. Now, some will probably say Gohan's defeat of Cell was an ass pull. No, it wasn't. That was a fair fight. Once Cell regenerated. Although Cell did own Gohan for a little while, but that's just Cell returning the favor to Gohan for being Gohan owning him upon his transformation to Super Saiyan 2, which wasn't an ass pull because we knew about that from the time Goku was in a hyperbolic time chamber with him. Because Goku actually saw the form, hence why he knew Gohan could beat Cell. So that's not an ass pull, but not going to be itself because that was a team effort. Because if Vegeta hadn't used that last big, even small scale Big Bang attack, I don't think Gohan would have won. Well, he might have, but it would have been a lot harder. But anyway, to me, that's not an ass pull. But you see where I go with the ass pull there, folks. It's probably more anime based as to what's classed as an ass pull and what's not. But Yugi with Exodia, Goku with the Super Saiyan defeat of Kid Buu, who was more powerful than a Super Saiyan by far. You know, that sort of thing is my definition of an ass pull. So, yeah, I think I'll just leave it at that. And yeah, this is Bad 073 smoking up those tires and burning the rubber on out of here and signing out.